stage.
Hello and welcome, inspired community. I'm so happy that you are here. Stage of Inspiration, One Voice, Many Hearts. This is our event series in July. My name is Caroline. You are here at home at Be Connected, and I would like to introduce you to our guest, Lucie Rosa-Stagi. Hello and welcome to the stage.
Thank you, Carolyn, for inviting me to this awfully awesome stage, which is, I think, is such a great value for people to hear our voices and our messages. So thank you for inviting me.
Oh, thank you for saying yes again. I know we already did some podcast episodes together, and of course, the audience would like to know something about you. And you are an internationally recognized business mentor for seniors. Let me see what this is. And I read about you in your bio that you started all over again at the age of, I think it was 70, right? When you became a strategic partner of Tony Robbins and Dean Graziosi. I hope I pronounced it right. It is so amazing, your journey. And please tell us more about, or the stage is yours because you prepared something for our audience.
Well, it's really interesting. You did mention that I did start my online journey at the age of 70, and it was because there was a 10-year relationship that ended, and here I found myself at 70 single, and I thought, oh my God, I have big dreams. One of the biggest dreams was to travel the world first class, and I wanted to do my soulmate, and all of a sudden, no soulmate. And I'm going, what am I going to do? Well, I wallowed in pity for about 6 months and cried me a river and whatnot. And then I thought, Lucie, there is nobody coming to help you. So what are you going to do? So I thought, okay, let me look at what I have and what can I do with what I have? Well, I had an extra a bit of property. So I decided, well, I'll do an Airbnb. And I did that. I was very successful for 6 months, and it was bringing me some great income, and I loved it. But you know what? I thought I could be working this forever. I need some other kind of income, like residual income. I want to make income when I'm sleeping. And so I thought, okay, well, what else can I do? Well, I'm not going to get a job. I retired. Forget the job. And I thought, well, I have this entrepreneurial spirit. I have a voice inside of me. And what I want to do is really get that voice out. And so I thought, well, I'm going to do something online. I don't know what, because all I knew how to do was copy and paste. But I got online anyway. I had one of my mentors suggest that I follow this guru who was into e-commerce. And at the time, we're talking about 8 years ago, I thought, okay, well, e-commerce must be the way you do business online. So I got into, mixed in with him, and I paid big money for his program and his coaching. And then when it became difficult for me to do the techie stuff, I thought, well, I'll pick up the phone and call. And there was no such thing. I had to fill out a form, and they would get back to me in 24, 48 hours. And I'm going, this must be the new way to take care of clients. This is absurd. Okay, well, I'll do what I can. So I did that. And then, of course, by the time I got the answer, I forgot the question. So I muddled my way through. Finally, I got my Shopify store up and going because I had two little Yorkies, and I thought, well, I'm going to sell Yorkie products because everybody loves to buy products for their dogs. And so I thought, yeah, and I had done some investigation. I knew that pet products were selling big, especially on Shopify. So it took me about a year to get it all set up. And then when I got ready to launch, I went, oh my God, I had this big epiphany, and go, what are you doing? You don't want to work with products. You've always worked with people. You love to work with people. So I did a 360. And at the time, this particular coach guru was selling apps, and he was creating apps for his people to do better on Shopify. And so I thought, I'll become an affiliate of his because I do believe in what he does. He's great. He knows what he's doing. I'll sell his app. I'll be an affiliate. So I got into affiliate marketing. However, to do that, I had to join ClickFunnels. And I'm like, ClickFunnels? Okay, well, okay. Let me join ClickFunnels. And it was all very techy. I don't know if you're aware of ClickFunnels. It's owned by Russell Brunson, who's very successful today. So I got in there, and of course, it became too techy for me. And I thought, what am I going to do? However, I received an email from Tony Robbins and Dean Graziosi, who asked me if I would join them in their new legacy. And the new legacy was self-education is the new norm. Well, I was in education all my life. So I went, oh, yeah, this is brilliant. Because I was talking to a lot of teachers, and we were trying to find a way, how can we change the traditional teaching today, because it doesn't serve our students anymore. And so I thought, everybody's online. Of course, they're all self-educating. How bright of Tony and Dean. Not only that, but they're taking it a step further. They're creating a course so that people who have an expertise, who have knowledge, can create a course and get their message out to the masses. And I thought, oh my God, yes, I can be an affiliate. And I was for 4 years. And my first year, of course, I didn't know what I was doing. I was just following people who were joining and whatnot. And there was a leaderboard, and there was a woman on top, and I was rooting for her. But I didn't know really what to do, but I was rooting and watching people. Anyway, at one point I was going on a pilgrimage with one of my mentors, Mary Morrissey. And I thought, well, I'm going to prepare some little business cards just so I can let people know what I'm doing. ClickFunnels had this mantra, you're only just one funnel away. I said, well, you're just one opportunity away on my business card. And that was to join Tony and Dean in their new legacy. And, I was on this pilgrimage and having a wonderful time and talking to women. Of course, people always ask you what you do. And I was passing out my cards. And wouldn't you know, by the time I got home 3 weeks later, I had made like $5,000. Oh my God, I had not even tried to sell anything. I just, I was making money immediately. And I thought, oh, this is it, online. Business online. And then from then, there I formed my own business with 3 of the moderators that were also with Tony and Dean. And we created our own business called LaunchLab Academy, because Dean kept saying, follow us, do what we're doing. So we did that. And we took care of the people who were falling through the cracks, because they were teaching thousands and thousands of people. And some people needed more hand holding. And so that's what we did. We formed little groups with those people, and we helped them create their courses, launch their business organically online. And so there I am. That's this LaunchLab Academy. And, I work with 3 other coaches, and I am what they call the community builder. So that is my function with LaunchLab Academy. And of course, one of the problems was we were working with Facebook, and we all know that Facebook the algorithms, whenever you post, well, you're lucky if 2% see your post. So I was looking for another way for us to, be able to promote and launch our clients' business. And then I found Be Connected. And so now I am a Be Connected expert, just like you, Caroline. So that's what my journey was all about.
Wow, this is so amazing what you just shared. Thank you so much for your insights. What a journey. Yes. And you talked about your Shopify as well, and about Be Connected, where we met for the first time. Now, I'm so grateful for this community, and also to do all the marvelous things we are doing, right? All day long, like group
Absolutely.
creating and courses and live events. There's a lot to explore here.
Absolutely. I found paradise, as far as I'm concerned. Be Connected is my new home. And, eventually I'm bringing everybody over. But, it's very funny because people resist change. Isn't that amazing? And here I am at 78. I know change. I made up my mind that change is just one of those things, part of life. If there's anything certain, there's going to be change. And so, So it was not a problem for me to jump in to be connected, because I thought, well, I've jumped in before and I've been okay, and I'm always guided the right way, because my intuition is very strong, and I've always followed my intuition, and so this felt right, and it is right, and it is the right place to be with the right people like you, and it's certainly the right time.
Oh, thank you so much. Yes, exactly
Mhm.
the right time for what we are doing now. The speakers
Absolutely.
event about what was the title? Stage of Inspiration. And it is very inspiring what you have to share about the click funnels, your journey in tech stuff. And now you are here, the expert. I love that so much. There's always something to do. And you said about change. When we don't change, it's boring, isn't it?
Can you imagine if everything was always the same thing? I love versatility. I love diversity. I love spontaneity. So for me, change is just it's a certainty, and I know it brings uncertainty, but you know what? That's where you grow. That's where you
Yeah,
grow the most, when things are
exactly.
uncertain, and how you respond to that uncertainty.
Yes, only into the unknown. And I told it today, I was a guest in a podcast. it was also very spontaneous. We just had a coffee meeting, and then I asked her, "Do you want to be my podcast guest?" And she said, "Yes. Why not doing it now?" And then guess what? It never happened. She said, "I have my own podcast too, and would you like to be my guest?" Also spontaneous. So we talked for, I think, 40 minutes and recorded two podcasts. So it was like, wow. And yeah, and I told her that when I constructed my house, I built my house, and I was so exhausted by that, because it takes 1 year or so, and then you have to coordinate all those workers.
No, it's
And yeah, but
awesome.
the most important thing is it is a mental thing. So you
Right.
think you have to control everything, but you cannot. And then I was exhausted, and I told myself, I don't go anywhere. I don't do nothing for 1 year. And the 1 year turned into 8 years or 7 years, let's say.
Wow.
No, really, like 7 years it was, because I have to say, I had two different, so where we lived before, and I had an office, and I merged the two into the house. So it was very practical during COVID. All the employees came to me, to my house, and so we had a great time, but I was not doing anything. It was so boring, no change.
Well, that's not true. Be connected. They're always giving us more and more and more to work with. And I just love it, because it can be a surprise sometimes, but it's like, oh, yes. And we know it's for the greater good of all.
Yes,
So,
I compared it to a roller coaster. And I asked the people, when you go to a roller coaster, you also pay for the roller coaster, for the thrill, for not knowing, for pain, or for scarcity. How's the word? To be scared. And you pay for it. So here at Be Connected, pay for the experience. It's worth it.
I
So if
love the
you are
analogy.
listening to this,
It's great.
with a free account, you can. So I would compare. Free account means it's boring. You know what to expect. 60 minutes of free video conferencing with up to 50 attendees. It's always the same. But when you choose the whole package, then it's always new. Every day new functions are revealed. Like, for example, the app. 2 days ago on Monday, it is new for us all. Now I have to learn how to train people on that. First of all, I have
Absolutely.
to train myself, and to learn how to share the screen to the app on the computer. I don't know, what are your experiences with the new app?
Well, it's just wonderful, because it's always learning. And, we are obviously, Caroline, you and I are lifelong learners. And I will never stop learning, as long as my brain is functioning. Because if you're not learning something, then what are you doing? You're just sliding back into, I'm not going to be one. Yeah, I was going to say, I'm not going to be one of these that's going to listen to every Netflix episode. But there's nothing wrong with that too, because there's a time to relax and there's a time to be doing that too. And so I don't want to fault anybody who does that. It's just that I do strongly believe that we have a voice, we have a message inside of us, and there is somebody out there that needs to hear our message. You may not be the person that resonates with me, but somebody who does. And so that's where I'm coming from. And so everybody has knowledge, everybody has expertise, everybody has a voice and a message. And it's really important for us all to be heard. Like you say, one voice, many hearts.
I found that it was like by intuition. I thought about it, and every time an impulse comes to me, then it has to be real quick. So I sent the newsletter to the persons, to the people with the title, and I'm happy that you mentioned Netflix as well, because we have this Netflix style on the desktop and on the app. Of course, it will attract young people, right? Young people who love Netflix. I don't know. I don't know. I don't care how it looks like. Like.
Well, I love that it's all on one platform, and you go to the dashboard and you see everything. You see the feed, you see what people are saying, you see what live shows are coming up, because the next show is always the first show, and then you can scroll down and you can see what people are selling, and then you can see the different groups that you belong to and what other people belong to. It's fascinating. It's all on one platform. It's right there, one dashboard. Unbelievable.
Yeah, I heard people say it's overwhelming and they don't need that marketing, I think, crap. They use the word. I don't know, it's something like that. And I thought, but this is the unique thing about Be Connected. No one else has this, because you have the overview with one click. You are everywhere, as you can join the rooms. It's like
Right.
Christmas.
Absolutely. And look how we look how we saw. Oh, excuse me. One of the things that I always forget is turn off my phone. That's because I'm learning, and so I need to write myself notes. Turn off your phone. So
Yeah.
anywho, I don't know what I was saying, but I was just about to say that it's so versatile, that I love the fact that we can just move around, navigate. The word is navigate. Now, for baby boomers, it's always been a problem to navigate. Not here. You can navigate really easily from one thing to the other, and I love it.
Yes, me too. Navigate, it's like a GPS,
Yeah,
GPS.
exactly.
You set the direction and then you land somewhere in a room. It's fun.
Yeah,
Yeah, really.
absolutely.
Mhm.
Absolutely. So, anyway, so I'm very happy to be here with you, Carolyn. You are an inspiration to me. Because I see you do so much, and I'm going, I want to be just like Carolyn. I want to be just like Carolyn, because you seem to know so much, certainly more techie stuff than I do. But I'm learning. Even if I learn a little bit every day, I'm happy. When I was Tony Robbins, of course, and Dean Graziosi are two of my mentors. And I remember saying to Tony in one of the events, I get so frustrated by technology. And Tony said, do not get frustrated by technology. Take the view of a child and be curious, and that changed my whole outlook about technology. And so I'm curious about things that I don't know, and what I can learn. And so, I'm patient. It's really making me patient. I'm working on my patience of just learning one thing at a time.
Mm.
You know,
Yes. That's so true what you said. And you
Yeah.
cannot mess it up, I would say, because there's always someone to help. I'm also the girl who tries everything, who clicks every button and see what happens because I don't care. Someone will clean up after me, as you said. Yeah, it was always like
Oh,
that.
that the support at Be Connected is unbelievable because there is nobody. There is, I mean, it's all human. We're talking about human beings. There are no bots here. There is no advertisement here. There's just human beings here, and you can connect with as many human beings as you want. And when you need help, there's support either from a BK, a Be Connected expert, or the support at Be Connected. There's always someone there to help you. I like that.
Yes, me too. And sometimes on the other platforms, we don't know who we are talking to. There are, I don't know what these people are, but I can tell by intuition now this person is helping me or not. And then so what it does is my learning is I stop the conversation more earlier. But here when I'm on Be Connected, I know exactly there is no such thing. So you can talk to, it's like a big family,
It
right? The
is
Big Connected family. The
actually
B.
it's one of the things that attracted me. When I first came to Be Connected, I thought, what a loving, caring family. That's how I thought about it. The community, loving and caring. People like you, Carolyn. I mean, I would never have met you otherwise if I hadn't been on Be Connected. And look at you, you're in Germany, and here I am in Mexico. We're so global. It's unbelievable. I get so excited about this. It's like, I can be in my own home, you can be in your own home, and we're this close and we're talking. It's unbelievable. Yeah.
It's a wonder. Unbelievable. A couple of years ago, like 20 years or so. And when I go on TikTok live every morning at my 6 a.m., then I always read. You can call me crazy a little bit. I always read my schedule for the people, like my calendar, so they see what I'm doing because I think it's funny. And when I tell them first, I have a podcast interview with India, and then I am in Canada, and then I am in Mexico, and they don't understand.
They go, international, but that's great. And so I see that you're doing also that for us on Be Connected. So I want that's a lovely touch. Thank you very much. That helps me so much when you post what those daily live supports, the training. That helps me because then, yeah, because I do have a calendar and I would have to go and see who's doing what. But there's Carolyn who has done it for us. You are such a treasure, a gem. I love it. Thank you.
Oh, thank you so much for because it is a learning process, as you said, and I'm only doing this for 2 days now. And when I did this today, I received messages from people who told me they are not doing it because they are on holiday. But so I missed an information somewhere, and I had to look it up again because I'm always doing my best or giving. I give my best. Sometimes the best is 10% and sometimes it is 200%. You never know.
Yeah, and you just never know who you're helping. And
Mhm.
so for me, it's a nice visual. I can copy it and I know exactly who's doing what and then I can work with my schedule. So thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you for doing that for us.
Oh, you're welcome, but it's your stage today. So, what is your story? What is so? We know about your past now and what you did between 70 and you
70, I'm
yeah.
about to, in September, I will turn 79. So it's been a journey. But, the first 2 years were definitely just learning because I was in e-commerce. I didn't know any better. But that was good because I found out how resilient I was. I found out how determined I was. I found out how, you know what, I'm not a quitter. I'm going to be a winner. Winners never quit. Quitters are never winners. you know.
Yeah.
So and I love that motto, and so that made me stronger, and so I knew that I would find my place, and of course, when I co-founded LaunchLab Academy. And for me to be able to help somebody succeed is so fulfilling. I mean, forget the money's always great. And who doesn't need more money, of course? But the most, at my age, giving back and helping people to succeed is very fulfilling. And so that's the greatest feeling of them all, as far as I'm concerned. So I'm here on Be Connected to do the same thing,
Oh, this
help
is so cool.
others succeed. I'm here to serve. Absolutely. And actually, my mantra. Every morning I have a routine, and part of my routine is my first routine is taking my vitamin G, which is my gratitude. What am I gratitude for? So I take that in, because we live lives of abundances. God wants us to be abundant. There's absolutely no reason why we can't be. There are signs all over the place if we're just awaken to the signs that because if we have a thought, that thought becomes an idea. The idea then becomes a thing, and then before you know it, you've launched something. So it all starts with the thought. And so for me to be grateful in the morning really helps me. And then, of course, I have a few other things that I do to keep me in peak state, so that I'm very focused and I'm positive when I start my work.
Oh, I love what you just shared. It all starts with a thought, and we get to choose our thoughts, of course. And I also love the vitamin G, right? I have to, yeah, a new word. And what my favorite quote is also related to your quote with about the winners and losers. My quote is losers focus on winners, and winners focus on winning. So what are you focusing on, right? And yeah, there was this famous picture with the swimmer. I think it is someone in the water, and this was also the reason, because it was a true situation at the Olympics. I think, I don't, was it Michael Phelps, I don't know, who, and they dissected it, and they said, look, he focused on the goal, and the loser, it is because someone turned, and this is why he lost the
It lost his direction.
Mhm.
You
Yeah.
have to really focus. You have to have that burning desire.
Oh
That
my
burning
God.
desire is your big why. And if you don't have that, then we're put on this earth with a purpose, and our life's journey is to find that purpose. And I realized that, I think by the age of 40, I was working with the Jesuits, and because I was in education, and I realized, because I was doing campus ministry, and we were taking juniors who were about to be going into their senior years, we would take them to third world countries, because these children, I call them children, were from very well-to-do families, and we would take them to the third world countries to see how the other half of the world lived. And so they, of course, we would take them to Spanish-speaking countries, because I taught Spanish, and they mingled a lot with the children. And they were in the playground with the children who had no shoes on. The children were full of laughter and fun, and they just wanted to teach our students the language because they thought it was funny. And so when we would meet with the students to reflect that in the evening, what their journey was, they were like, oh my God, these children have nothing and they're happy. I have a pimple and I'm miserable. I don't have the right dress to wear and I'm really miserable. I'm in tears. And these kids are all they're just happy. Happiness exudes, out of their body. And that to me was a proof that I was here to serve others. And that's what I wanted to do, bring people.
Wow. I love that story about. So I did the same, but in a little reduced way. Let's say I took my I took my kids, my two boys. But it was not like, yeah, it was a different story. Let's say my I don't know the word. My sister-in-law, this is the word, right? My sister-in-law lives in what is it? In Senegal, in Dakar, in West Africa. So I took my my children there when they were about 9 years old, and the other
Mhm.
one was 12. So, and they were, of course, they were also shocked about the people
Right,
without shoes and like begging in the streets, and the poverty over there as well. And we were protected all the time. So there was this gap between poor people and rich people. Some of
right,
them had drivers, or also like you call it personal or personnel, like staff working for them,
exactly.
cooking staff. Yeah, I think employees. I call it employees. I don't know. Yeah.
But but it's true, and it's really good for children to see that. I mean, these juniors, like I'm talking about, they were going into colleges, and their parents wanted them to go to the Yale and the Stanford and be lawyers and be, you know, where they would make a lot of money, and all of a sudden they're like, you know what? No, I want to help people. I want to, yeah, I want to do something different. So it made a big difference in their life. No, and
No.
not that, and there's nothing wrong with being a lawyer, there's nothing wrong with being a judge, there's nothing wrong with that, we need those people too, but the fact is that they then learn, because of the emotion that was so created in this experience, they then learn to know and follow their intuition as to what they wanted to do and what they wanted to give to the world, which made a big difference, I think.
It's good when you realize it at a young age. You can do this later as well. You have your career, you
Yeah,
do
right,
hard work and work like 16 hours per day and earn a heck lot of money. And then you realize you have this burnout, and then you realize you want to do something else, or you want to do nothing for a period of time. You call it sabbatical year. Yes, you
yeah,
do this if it isn't too late. And I would say, I witnessed this also. The question is, do people really help, or do they help to have this feeling, to do. Sometimes help is not really helping. Yeah.
right. Well, you only know if you're helping if somebody says, "Thank you, you helped me a lot." Really, that's, you know, and so that's the reward that we get. So, and I know that, whenever you work, it's especially true in LaunchLab Academy, and it's certainly true here in Be Connected, support is so valuable. People need to know that we have their back, that we are there for them to succeed. And so the support is extremely important, and when people know that they feel supported, they feel loved, they feel accepted, they feel they can then do the job that they're meant to do, you know.
Yeah, you mentioned also the aspect of creating a team, or the atmosphere of a team. And as JR always says in the Saturday show about the doers, the recruiters, and the builders. And I think like building a team is really good way to express this.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, because you don't have to do this alone. You know, at one point you have to start, but then the important thing is to find somebody. And this is what's good about Be Connected. We have this connection generator that will help you find people in your own industry so that you can collaborate with them. That is such a big plus. Oh my God. You know? And yeah, the the artificial intelligence is at work here, but it's really very helpful to find
Okay,
people
I would
who are
give an
available.
advice as well if you are open to it. I mean, the audience, of course, because you, Lucy, you know this already. You are a pro. What I found out for myself is forming a new routine to go when I start with Be Connected in the morning, let's say, because I want to catch up what's new, and we are in different time zones. Then I go into the Be Connected official group, and then you can see, when you go to the members section, you can see the new members because they appear after the experts, right? Or the co-leaders of the group, let's say. And then you can go from one to the other and connect. connect with as many people as you can.
That's why you have so many connections. You mentioned the other day, I think you mentioned like you have 500, you've reached, and I'm going, oh my God, I'm only halfway there. And so you just gave me the the way to do it.
I just found that this, I have to say, it's just 2 days ago. But what I did was I grabbed them from other groups. Like when people invite me in their groups, there are new people. So I also recommend to join as many groups as you can or as you want. And there you can connect to the members as well. I have to laugh.
Well, I'm very much into the one-on-one chat. I love to actually have that chat with the person so that I can connect face to face and see how we can collaborate because I think my middle name should be collaborator because that's what I like to do the most is collaborate with people, you know, because
Collaborator,
yeah.
not connector, or you have
Connector, I'm a connector, I'm a collaborator, I'm a facilitator, I'm all of those things, right? And so, yeah. So anything that, joins us together because support and caring about people is what people really understand and that's how they get to like you, love you and trust you and buy from you no matter what it is that you sell. It's not about what you're selling, it's about you that they're liking. So how many times have I bought from people that I didn't care what they were selling. It was like, I like this person, I'm supporting this person. And so
Oh, maybe I can ask you a question that came up yesterday with the colleague, let's say, from another institute I was I was involved in. So you mentioned you started affiliate marketing or something. Yeah, I think you mentioned this. So the question from we had yesterday was, like when, let's say, you are involved in 3 network marketing businesses or whatever you call it, then the person said, but I cannot sell every product or each product to every of my contacts. And I didn't say anything, but I see, as you mentioned, now if they love you, they will buy from you, and it is no matter what. So the question to you is, how would your perspective be on that?
that's very interesting because I think, first of all, I think, it's really important in marketing not to confuse people. And
Mm.
so if you have one thing to sell, you should have one thing to sell. If people are confused when you have 2 or 3 things to sell. So it's part of the marketing strategy. So I think that, my suggestion would be to establish themselves first as who they are, what they do. They can be an affiliate marketer, and people eventually will say, well, what is it that you are marketing? And so one of those 3 things may be of value to them. But branding yourself is so very important. And of course, now I'm just going to put a little plug here for LaunchLab Academy because we do believe that AI powered personal branding is really important because you can't do without artificial intelligence today. There's so many apps. Of course, you could be crazy about it. So you need somebody who knows about branding. And so we are focused on personal branding and using the correct artificial intelligence apps to do the right job. And so again, to come back to your question, the most important thing for that person is to be able to personally brand themselves so that people know who and what they do. So you can be an affiliate marketer, but who are you? And give value to people because nobody likes to be sold.
Mm.
Nobody likes to be sold, you know. And if you give value, then all of a sudden they're gonna say, well, or if you should be really excited about a product, and of course we have the P3 system now that I mean, I'm not even going to go into it, but helps the affiliate marketing industry like no other tool will ever or has ever done in the past. And so, you can do a little event, and you can invite all the downlines from that particular network marketing. Do one thing at a time, but you need to establish yourself first. You need to know who you are, and you're doing a great job of it, Caroline.
Oh, thank you so much. Yes, I give it my best. My all be connected is my priority. And I have another 2 or 3 products.
There you go.
Of course. And you mentioned the personal brand. I had an interview 2 weeks ago, and he told me, like, you set up, you not create, yeah, you establish your personal brand, and then you don't have to promote the products anymore, because
Exactly.
they sell themselves, so to say.
Because they love you. You need to have people love you, trust you, and buy from you. Those are the 3 things that happen. They've got to love you first, you
Wow,
know?
it sounds fantastic, because it's new for me. I never did this, sitting in the cave doing accounting all day long, of course. And now I'm in the visibility of whatever the next best platform here at Be Connected. And what you said, no one wants to be sold. I always say, like, the client says, help me to make a decision. Like,
Uh-huh.
this is the
Interesting, isn't it?
Mhm.
Help me make a decision. That's very interesting. Yeah. So, but you're doing a wonderful job of personal branding, and I think you were just featured 2 Saturdays ago on with the co-founders when they did their Saturday show. Congratulations to you. You
Thank
know,
you so
that's
much.
that's all part of personal branding. It's perfect.
Okay, so I'm in the right lane.
The
I
right
learned it
time,
as
the right
well.
people. Yes.
Oh, yes, the right people, the right environment. And you know this, when you surround yourself with 4 billionaires, you become the fifth.
Well, that's what they say. Proximity is power. So,
Oh, I learned, I never studied, I can admit this now to you. I never studied Tony Robbins. And he says, I'm not your guru. Every mentor has their own vocabulary. And I have this Bob Proctor and Peggy McCall. And so I learn with every person, I learn their own vocabulary. And this is so wonderful.
absolutely, absolutely. And because of what I went through at 70, I just turned to personal development because I thought, oh my God, I need so much help here. Because I'm wallowing in pity, and nobody's coming to help me, so I've got to help myself. And the first thing I did was look for the right coach. And I found that in Mary Morrissey, and then through Mary Morrissey, I I learned about Bob Proctor. And before I knew it, I was an affiliate of Tony and Dean's. And so, yeah. And so I like being around those people because because they all had that positive energy, that positive vibration to manifest what they wanted out of life. And I wanted to learn that.
Absolutely. I love what we do. Thank you so much for our stage of inspiration. It was my pleasure and an honor. Of course, please reach out to Lucie. She's amazing. I wanted to add, you could have an A in your middle name for amazing and awesome.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I just want to let your public know that we're having a free masterclass. Also, would it be okay for me to put it in the chat, or do you want
Yeah,
to?
if you like to, then I put it in the show notes, because this, surprise, surprise, this is not only published on Be Connected, it will also be one of the inspired podcast episodes as a bonus, like summer edition, stage of inspiration. It's awesome. Yes.
So shall I put it in the chat for you then?
Yes.
It it is a free branding. We're talking about a powered personal branding webinar for a free one. So do join us on that day and learn what is necessary for you to personally brand yourself, especially in these times with artificial intelligence, because people are like, oh my God, there's so much artificial intelligence. Where do I go? And do you know that only 2% of companies are implementing at this point? Because Because it's like the wild west, people going after the gold.
Yes. I love that analogy. It's like at Be Connected here, the next shiny thing. And also when we talk about crypto or NFTs, this is so new and now AI, but we have to learn it. We have to deal with it,
We
manage
do.
it, control it, and use it to our favor. Someone said to our advantage. I don't know
Our
what
benefit.
yeah,
Advantage or benefit, right, exactly. Because
yeah.
then you can only benefit other people with it, so you can't ignore it anymore. AI is here to stay. So you better, because we were talking about personal branding, I just thought that it was, appropriate to let people know that we are doing a free webinar masterclass on July 31st, and you can get the information in the chat there.
Yes.
I
I would
hope you will join us, Caroline.
Yeah, of course. I will sign up immediately after the recording is finished, which will be in a few seconds. I thank you so much for being my guest here today, and we will have many, many more events. I know it.
I thank you for inviting me to this wonderful stage of inspiration. One voice, many hearts. It really speaks to me. Thank you.
Thank you. See you in the next episode and on the next stage.